Hi, Jim Van Zant, one of the pastors here at Carlisle United Methodist Church with Sermon in 3 Minutes. Thanks for tuning in today. We're in the series Half Truths. It's based on the book Half Truths by Reverend Adam Hamilton. Some great stuff that he puts out. This week's half truth that we considered was God helps those who help themselves. Christian cliche is not found in the Bible anywhere. The closest thing to finding a source for it seems to be Ben Franklin, something he put in Poor Richard's Almanac back in the late 18th century. Often he would throw scripture into the Poor Richard's Almanac, and he would throw a phrase like this in, and some people would make the assumption that that's in the Bible. Well, it's not in the Bible. But others will argue that the implication is there in the Bible, and they'll take some of Paul's letters where he addresses a very specific problem to the Thessalonian Christians. They had a bit of a problem in that church in that the new pagan converts were so excited and zealous about Jesus Christ and the good news of Jesus, and that his return was coming soon, that they quit their jobs, ran up into the hills with their families, and sat and they waited. And then over time, they got a little hungry, so they made their way back into town and started knocking on the doors of other Christians in the Christian community, saying, hey, you're a Christian, you're supposed to take care of me because that's what Christians do. Paul exhorts these people and tells them, no, you can't do that. You got to work just like everyone else to feed yourself. And so somehow we took that phrase and made it a general rule, which was just meant for a very specific situation. I don't know about you, but I've heard the phrase, mostly you hear it from parents or grandparents, about trying to use that phrase to maybe excite us to live a productive life. God only helps those who help themselves. That's not true, as we see in the Bible. As a matter of fact, we are grateful that God doesn't only help those who help themselves, because you and I stand helpless before God in terms of salvation. When it comes to our salvation, we can't earn it, we can't do enough, we can't provide it for ourselves. We need help. We need help from God through Jesus our Christ. So though we may be able to live very productive lives, and we are lucky enough to care for ourselves, in that one issue, none of us can care for ourselves. So we need to be very glad that God helps those who cannot help themselves. In fact, that's true. That's exactly what Jesus specialized in his 3 years of earthly ministry, helping those who can't help themselves. Remember, that includes us. God bless your day. Thanks for tuning in for the Sermon in 3 Minutes.